we started with the conditions precedent to the contract. And just like I said that last week, we were able to discuss that just like we have in normal business contracts, that age is a factor before you can have a valid contract. In a normal business contract, age is a factor for you to have a valid contract. We said insurance also is not an exception, that in insurance contracts you have age. Then we're able to list some of those things as age, insurable interest, offer to the contract, full disclosure of material information, payment of premium, acceptance of contract, and delivery of the contract. Those are the things we discussed last week. So we call those ones underwriting conditions. We'll continue with the second stage of the conditions. The second stage, which is the conditions subsequent to the contract, is also this conditions is also an extension of the underwriting contract, because the first one we'll be talking today is continuous disclosure of a change of material information to the contract. Just like we said last week that the full disclosure of material information, we all understand. If you have been following me, we all understand what we mean by material information. The information that is relevant to the risk you are bringing to the insurance. So that is what we mean by the material information. Now let's just cite an example that, okay, maybe by the time you insure your building or your household cover, you have and some things were not included. Some of your households were not included. So by the time you now include it, just like I cited an example the other time when we're talking about the material information, that okay, maybe when you insure your household goods, maybe some things were not included. So by the time you now have additional, maybe you have bought freezer, you have bought fridge, you now have to disclose to insurer that these things have been added to the list of items that have insured. So insurer will now review it and give it. That is what we mean by continuous disclosure. When you have additional risk to the existing one, you disclose it to the insurer, and the insurer will now review it. That is what will lead us to the additional premium. By the time the insurer review it, then it will now look, there will be an additional premium, so that you will still be able to enjoy your full cover. Then when there's additional premium, there will be issuance of endorsement. What endorsement means is that you are able to override the existing policy document you have. That okay, the endorsement will now will bring you to the full position of the cover you now have. So that is the importance of the issuance of endorsement when you have additional information. Let me cite another example of continuous disclosure of material information. Maybe you have insured your car. Maybe by the time you insure your car, maybe the color of your car is blue. Maybe due to maybe you feel you don't like the color of your car again, you have repainted your car to green. The onus is on you to inform the insurer that, oh, it's still the same car, but I've changed the color from green to blue. Do we all understand? So you disclose it because it's the material information. So in case there's a claim occurs, your insurer will be able to know that, oh, it's still the same car, because you have disclosed. That is what we call continuous disclosure. You have disclosed it ahead of time that, oh, it's still the same car, but I've just changed the color from green to blue. So with that one, you don't need additional premium. You have just informed your insurer that it's still the same car. So it depends on the situation. When there is a change to the risk on cover, it depends whether there will be additional premium or not, depending on the nature of disclosure you have given to the insurer. But there will always be issuers of endorsement, so that for insurance to know that, okay, yes, you have pointed this to us and we have effected it. So there will always be issuance of endorsement. Then renewal notice. When that cover, when the risk is almost expiring, the insurer will issue a renewal notice to inform you that, oh, for you not to be off cover, your policy will be due in so days, maybe 1 month to the expiration of your cover, or 2 weeks or 1 week, just to remind you that your policy will soon be due. So the onus is on the insurer to always issue out the renewal notice. Then another condition is you act as if uninsured. So it's an implied condition that yes, you are insured, but it should be part of you that you must always act as if you are uninsured. That is you should have that consciousness that although I'm insured, but I must still take every necessary caution, because we all know that insurer, the purpose why you have the purpose of insurance is not for you to be careless. It's just to safeguard. It's just for in case anything happens that you do not plan for. It's for fortuitous events, unforeseen circumstances. So you will not, as an insured, you will not be able is to guard the morale, the attitude of the insured. So it's an implied condition that you should always act as if you are uninsured. So it's a subsequent condition to the contract. I want us to I want us to look at the third stage of condition, which is condition precedent to liability. Condition, are you with me? I hope you can all relate to what we are saying. Hello, everyone.
Sorry, ma'am, my hand was up. I was asking if you were sharing your screen, because we
I've
can't
not
see
shared
any
it.
presentation.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at it that something is not right here. I've not shared the screen. I'm sorry. Yeah. That's an oversight.
Okay.
It's an oversight. Okay, I was wondering why I'm not seeing myself. Thank you for pointing that to me. Can you see my screen now?
We can see your screen now, yes.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, so this is the one that I...
Thank you.
Okay.
Do you want to put it on slideshow?
Oh, well, let me just leave it for
fine.
now so that I won't distort thank you very much. But I hope you can see it now.
Yes, we can.
Okay, so this is the one I have run through, the conditions subsequent to the contract. Thank you, Motola, for bringing that to my notice. I was looking at it as something else, right? Thank you for pointing that to me. I really appreciate that. So it means we are all following. So the condition subsequent to the contract, this is what I have run through. The continuous disclosure of a change of material information to the contract, additional premium, issuance of endorsement, renewal notice, acts as if uninsured. So the third stage of the condition, which I want to also look at together, is conditions precedent to liability. Now, these are take every reasonable step to mitigate the loss. No, a condition precedent to liability, that is what is expected of the insured to do for insurer before the insurer will indemnify the insured. You know, the purpose for which the insured has come to the insurer is that in case there is a loss, the insured will be indemnified. So, but there are conditions, that is things that the insured needs to do before the insurer will fulfill his own part of the promise, which is to indemnify the insured in case of the loss. So you have to take every necessary step to mitigate the loss. Now, let's say in case, you know, when loss occurs, it is still a form of from the my last point when I said act as if uninsured. Is still a follow from that you take every necessary reasonable step to mitigate the loss. We call them reasonable steps, so that because you know in risk management you look it is protection of life and property, not property and life. That's why we say reasonable steps. let's say, for example, there's the building is on fire. You will not say because you want to mitigate the loss and you lose your life in the course of it. So that is why we call it reasonable step. You want to safeguard the property, but you don't lose your life in the course of it. So you take reasonable step to mitigate the loss. Maybe maybe the fire just occur maybe from your kitchen, and you have the fire extinguisher. You have the fire extinguisher close by. You know, the first thing, the next thing you should think of, quickly take the fire extinguisher and release it to the fire, so as to mitigate that loss, to immediately stop the loss if you can. If that will just stop the loss, you know. So you take reasonable steps to mitigate the loss. Then when the loss now eventually occurs, you incident the loss with the necessary authority. Let's take the case of theft. Let's say it's a car theft. You know, you won't just fold your hands without doing anything. The onus is on you to incident the loss with the necessary authority. Now, if it's a car theft, you report to the police station that your car has been stolen. If it is fire, no, the first thing you should think of is to call the fire brigade. You know, the fire so that they can quickly come and rescue the situation. So that's what we mean by you incident the loss with the necessary authority. Then the other one, when the loss has eventually occurred, then you report the claim. You understand? You report the claim when if you do not report the claim, there is no way the insurer will know. That is why you remember that time we talked about 5 steps in getting your claim. And the first thing, you call your intermediary. Yes, you call your intermediary, your broker or your consultant, so that your intermediary will be the one and will help you to take your intermediary takes the burden off you. You'll be the one to intermediate between you and your insurer. But the key thing is you report the claim. Then the other one is to acknowledge the claim. Who does the acknowledgement? It is the insurer. When you report the claim, the insurer acknowledges the claim. The insurer empathizes with the insured that, oh, we are sorry, or we identify with you on your loss, this and that. Then the necessary action will be taken. Then the last thing is your insurer will not investigate the claim. You know, we discussed this thing when we were talking about the stages in getting claim. So that insurer, what are the things the insurer will investigate? Insurer wants to investigate. Insurer wants to know that is the policy in force, that is, as the premium being paid. You know, insurer wants to checklist the conditions precedent to the contract, that the person who went into a contractual relationship is of age, were there material information disclosed. You know, the insurer wants to investigate. And another thing, the insurer wants to know the proximate cost. You know, we discussed that. Insurer wants to know the proximate cost. What was the cost of the loss? What the peril that led, the operation of the peril that led to the loss, was it an insured peril? That is, was it the exact thing that you insured, was it the exact peril you insured against and that led to the loss? So those are the things insurer wants to know by the investigation. So insurer will investigate the claim, and once everything is fine, once everything has been once everything is in order, the insurer goes ahead to pay the claim. Because just like I always tell you, insurers are in business just for two things, for underwriting and for claim. So if any insurer that is not paying claim is just not in business. So the purpose of insurer is to bring succor to the insured, to the insured anytime the loss occurs. So I want us to understand that, and that is the sure thing, that is the business of insurance, to settle claim. Because of our time, I want I want to give opportunity for questions now. So I've been able to question please. I've been able to wrap up the topic that I started last week. Is anyone raising hands? Let me see. Please raise up your hand or you just unmute your mic and let's ask a question so that for more clarity, you know, it's interactive session. It's not just that Grace Ojo will be talking. So when Grace Ojo talks, when people are not clear, then they can ask their question. That is why it is called interactive session. Please unmute your mic and ask your question. Thank you very much. Hello, everyone. I hope you can all hear me.
Yes, we can hear you.
Please ask me questions. If there's no question, I want to hear your view about what I've discussed. At least this topic started last week. We talked about the three stages of conditions in insurance contracts. People used to say there's a lot of conditions in insurance contracts, but I've been able to demystify that for us this evening, last week and this evening. We've been able to demystify that when you talk about the conditions, it's not because, okay, Peter Adebola, please unmute your mic and ask your question, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you very much for the wonderful presentation that I've made. My question is on conditions precedent to liability.
Yes,
you said that somebody should take every reasonable step to mitigate the loss.
Yes, sir.
I want to give an example of what happened on our road during this period of time.
Okay, sir.
Most of the times, you just discover that somebody is driving on the road and all of a sudden, because of the traffic that is hectic on our road, that all of a sudden you see a car just doing overheating, and before you know what is happening, the car starts burning. And all efforts to ensure that the inferno did not consume the car may prove abortive, using so many fire extinguishers and the car. An incident happened 2 days ago that I witnessed, and I was just asking myself that the owner of the car tried to mitigate the loss by ensuring that he put fire extinguisher in place, and some other people that are motorists, they were trying to help the guy so that the car would not, the fire would not extend to all the parts of the car. But unfortunately, the whole of the engine compartment of the car got burnt together with the front. The only area of the car that could be recovered is the driver's seat and also the back end of the car. Now the question is, this person has tried to ensure that he mitigates the loss. So when this happens to somebody that have comprehensive insurance on the car, will he be able to claim for a new car, or what is going to happen in this situation? Having tried to mitigate the loss, but at the end of the day, the loss still occurred.
Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate you for that question. Yes, sir, just like you have said, the man has tried his best. That's why we said you take every reasonable step to mitigate the loss. He has tried his best. I mean, there are witnesses that the guy tried. That is not that the guy just folded his hand. There are witnesses that the guy tried. So definitely the loss will be the claim will be settled. If the man has an insurance and he reports the claim to his insurer, definitely the claim will be settled, because it's obvious. There are witnesses that yes, he has taken reasonable steps to mitigate the loss. I hope I've been able to answer your question, sir.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. Omotola, please unmute your mic and ask your question.
Okay, good evening, ma'am. Thank you for the presentation.
Thank you very
So,
much.
as we were talking, I just had a funny thought in my head. I just wanted to ask for the sake of asking anyway. So,
Okay.
you were talking about insuring your property and then, being when life is also involved. So, say an example came into my head. If a house is on fire and the house has been insured. So the insurance that was bought was property insurance, not life insurance. But say the life of the owner who is meant to collect the payouts is now lost in the process of the fire. Who then receives the? So is the insurance still going to be paid, and to who?
Okay, thank you very much.
I mean, the benefit of the insurance, who then gets it if the owner of if the insured himself has been caught up in the fire?
Lost his life in the course of the
And there was
accident.
no life insurance. Yeah, so it wasn't life insurance they did. It was the property they insured.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that question. Yes. The man will have beneficiary. If the beneficiary has been able to say, okay, although it's not life insurance, yes, but since it is still at least people will still be in that family, supposing that people that still survive the incident, and they could make claim to the policy that the properties were insured. Of course, they will be settled. They'll be settled.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay. So far, they are able to prove it. You see, why people always think insurance, they always ask for, no, it's not that you are asking for a lot of documentation so that in order not to pay the claim. No, that's not the purpose. We just want to authenticate the validity of your claim. That's why once you are able to prove that, okay, this man, he did the insurance, though he lost his life in the course of it, but at least the property insurance is still valid, is enforced. The next person, the next of kin will make the claim. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Another question. Two participants raised hands. Who else is raising hand? Femi, please kindly unmute your mic and answer the question and ask your question. Ask your question, sir.
Thank you very much. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes. I hope you can hear me.
I can hear you, sir. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you, sir.
All right. I just want to ask a question in addition to the one that was just asked.
Okay.
Let us assume that the family members of the deceased,
okay,
they are not aware of the fact that the man who died did an insurance on the property.
Okay.
Now the property has been raised. The man died in the process.
Okay.
So what's going to happen? Does that mean that all the premiums that he has been paying has gone down the drain? Is the insurance going to be looking for the dependents so as to pay them, or they will keep mute since nobody knows about the transaction and nobody is coming forward to say we want to make claims? So what is going to happen in a situation like that?
Okay, thank you very much. I really appreciate for that question. Really, it is, yes, it is actually when it is life insurance, that is when, even if once the man has died, that insurer begins to look for the dependents or the next of kin or the beneficiary to pay. But this one is a case of property insurance. Just like I answered the first person who asked the question, once they are able to provide evidence that, okay, or if insurer got to know, if the insurer still got to know, because before insurer could know that they need to settle claim, so the claim must be reported. So one way or the other, once the insurer is able to know that, okay, this person insured his property, and in the course of it, the person is no more, and they'll be able to investigate and know that, okay, this person is the next of kin. Insurer is out to settle the claim once they can get valid information about who are we paying claim to. I don't know whether I've been able to answer that question.
Well, sorry, madam. In this particular instance that I have cited,
okay,
it's only the man who did the insurance that knew about that transaction.
Okay.
Family members, no member of his family, not even the wife,
okay,
knew about
yes,
the transaction. So now it's how will the insurance company now know? Because apart from him, nobody knows. Assuming that the guy has been paying premium for upward of 5 or 6 or 10 years. So what is going to happen in that case is the only person who knew about the transaction, no other member of the, in fact, the members of the family, they are not even know that, they don't even know that he registered them as next of kin and that in the transaction. He was the only one who knew about it. So what will happen? What steps will the insurance company take in that?
That's what I've said. Probably maybe his broker will know. So once his broker is able to present the documentation, insurer will go ahead and settle the claim. That's what I've just said, that insurer only needs to be informed. That's why it's always good to do your insurance through your intermediary. Somebody will know. Insurance business is not a hidden business. His family member might not have known, but his broker or his consultant will know. I hope you understand what I'm saying. So somebody will know, and once the insurer is able to know, once the insurer knows that, okay, this person needs to be settled, you'll be settled. It also happens in life insurance. This is even prominent in life insurance, that the man will do insurance. It will be for the fear that if my wife or anybody knows, and they know that it's huge amount of money, he will not let it be known to anybody. So the family member will even be surprised. They sometimes they are always taken aback when they lose the man, and insurer come to settle the to compensate them that your person, maybe your late husband, he had a life insurance with us. It happens. The person will be settled. It's still the same thing. Once insurer got to know that this person is no more, and I mean every documentation is there and the information is clear, insurance goes ahead to settle the claim. I hope I've been able to answer your question, sir.
Yeah, yes, but
let me try and clarify the question that they're asking.
Sir.
Okay.
Can I, madam, can I add to what you said?
Okay, sir.
Maybe
before Mr. Adegbero answer, please let me clarify that question so that you can address it together, sir.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so the question is, when you were making the presentation, you said that claim must be reported before they can before the insurer can pay the claim or the underwriter can pay the claim. Now, the question that Mr. Femi is asking is that nobody knows about the insurance contract in the family. The wife does not know, the children, they don't know anything. Now the man now died, and they discovered that the man died while the building was consumed in inferno. So what they are now saying is that if the claim is not reported, can insurance company or the insurer on his own come to the family and then present pay the claim on their own when it is not reported by anybody? That's the clarity they want to make.
Mr. Fatai, please, you have the floor, sir. We are running out of time. Mr. Fatai, please answer the question, sir.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you for the good work you are doing.
Thank you,
I
sir.
think madam has answered one aspect of it. If the business is consummated through a broker, the broker will easily know about it, about the demise of his client. and go ahead and notify the underwriter. Another means through which the underwriter could know is through news. When news about the fire is made public, the police, maybe the officer there will say, oh, it's Mr. XYZ. It's so unfortunate he has a policy with us. So that could be another means, just like the one that happened at Ikoyi. That building collapse, all underwriters will have been checking their records and they will quickly swing into action. Another means through which the policy or the contract could be known is on the demise of anybody. It is incumbent on the members of the family to comb his records to see who the person was owing or who are owing him. In the process of checking his belongings,
wow.
To stumble on the policy documents. That policy document, the man had the policy while he was alive.
Yeah, Mr. Fatai's line is shaking.
They will now notify the underwriter that, okay, we have our man had the policy with you when he was alive. So kindly process the claim. The legal as well, the legal representative, whenever anybody was a policy contract.
Hello, sir.
The main person, apart from the beneficiary, is the legal representative of that insured, who will take it up with respective people that might have responsibilities of that man who has taken that, get to know and process the claims and make sure and the loss occurred as a result of an insured peril or to the estate of that insured. Sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Femi, Mr. Peter, I hope you've been able to...
The network is not friendly.
Yes, the network was fluctuating, but I believe you cannot hear him, at least. Mr. Our time is rounding up. Madam Toyin, you raise your hand. Please, do you still want to ask your question so I can bring this meeting to a close? I'm receiving signal already that our time is up. Madam Toyin Udukoya.
Yes, good evening. Good evening.
Please quickly ask your question so I will attend
this is a joke. Okay, good evening, everyone.
Good evening, ma'am.
Well, it wasn't a question. I joined late, actually. It was a little contribution. Okay. I joined late, and as I was joining the question, Mr. Femi was asking that very interesting question.
Okay.
I find it very interesting because now the one who signed in for the insurance policy had died with what he insured. And so the Nigeria of today that we know, it's possible, it's actually possible that the policy and everything he had committed to it will just go down the drain like that. Nobody might know anything about it. It would take a very honest broker and all of that to be able to come up and say, oh, the so-and-so person actually did this with us and have that with us, and then settle the claim. Well, so my little contribution is that I think that's an eye-opener for us not to be so secretive. In this part of the world, we are very secretive, especially our men. I think that's one way to say, okay, there should be one person you should be able to trust and say, okay, that know one or two things about you, so that in an event of death like that, at least the person can come up and say, okay, this person has something with the family. Well, all sorts, it is well.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate you. That's why I've just mentioned this. That is why when next you are doing your insurance, just do it through your broker or your consultant. That's what we do. If you come to us at Bimbo Consultancy Services, all these things will be well taken care of. So you should always go through your intermediary. Once you go through your intermediary, there won't be a case of, there's nothing like Nigeria of today. Once you do your insurance through your broker, your consultant, as in your intermediary, once your intermediary get to know about the loss, the insurer will know about the loss, and the loss will be settled appropriately. On this note, I want to bring this meeting to a close, because if we do not bring it to a close, it will just go off, and I wouldn't want it to just go off. So I want to appreciate every one of us that has joined in this meeting. I want to appreciate Mr. Fatai, my senior colleague in the industry. I want to appreciate every one of us. I really appreciate the encouragement you are giving me, because we are all doing the work together to bridge the knowledge gap in the insurance industry. Thank you, everyone. Next week is another time. Next week, Wednesday, between the hours of 5:30 and 6 p.m. Let's meet again. And if you have any question or you want to contact me, the information is on the screen. Reach out to us, info@graceojoblog.org or info@bimboconsultancyservices.com or 08026940605. And I always record this meeting. You can reach out, you can check it all out on my YouTube, www.graceojoblog channel. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you. Let's meet again next week. Thank you so much. Do have a great evening. Thank you all. Thank you, sir.
Well done. Well
Thank
done.
you,
Good
ma.
job.
Thank you, ma.
Thank you.
Well
God
done.
bless you.
Well done, well done. Nice
Well
job.
done, well done.
Thank you. I really appreciate all of you.
Bye.
Thank you.